All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I know y'all have been waiting for me to work on this thing forever. It's time for us to work on this thing. First off, let's just get a look at this wrap. I still can't get enough of how freaking good this wrap looks in the sunlight. Oh yeah, look at that. The whole entire truck is like that, even though the body of the truck is really just trashed. We put a layer of paint on it anyways just because, but like you can see there's dent marks right here from all that stuff, but the forces look good. A fan actually said they sent some polish in, so that's gonna be pretty cool to try out. We'll be able to do that a little bit later after we do the fan mail video, which by the way, that's gonna happen at the end of this month. So get the stuff done all in. The PO box will still be open afterwards, but I'm gonna probably end up doing a fan mail video at the end of every month because I wanna be able to interact with y'all and have y'all be part of the builds as well, because I don't want it to just be me, because it feels a lot better whenever there's fans and other people involved, and it makes me have more drive to do it because y'all like doing it, and it really helps me because I get to help y'all. And I get to teach y'all things that I've learned because I've messed up, and that's really why I have a YouTube channel. I'm not a professional at anything. I literally just mess up and try again and try again and try again, and eventually it happens. We're gonna try and do that with this, because that's what I've been doing for the past like 8 months, I think it's been, since this daggum piece of junk. It's turned into my roll-off dumpster because I don't have a truck to just haul off junk. I've put everything inside of the truck, and yes, I need to mow my lawn. I have not mowed my grass since the corona started. It's really tall. If y'all really want me to, when I get paid, I'll get a daggum lawnmower. I will make a lawn mowing video. I'll get a lawnmower and a weed eater and make one just because. It'll be an extra video. So maybe y'all can get 5 videos if I end up mowing my lawn. But for now, the schedule is 4 videos a week. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we're gonna be posting on those days. So without further ado, if y'all like this video, because there's gonna be a whole lot of effort going into it, let's get started. All right, so let's do something that we haven't done in a really long time. Oh, we're making this thing work. It's already making noises, so we're gonna see if we can get this thing running. All right, so it's been a minute since we've seen this thing. So let me open this back door. Oh look, there's a Drift Mustang, looking nice and fine. All right, so this right here is the interior of the truck. Man, it looks so freaking clean still. Okay, I took the radio out and I put it in the drift car, but I'm probably gonna end up taking the radio out and putting it back from the drift car in there, because I might just end up deleting the radio out of it, but I don't know. I'll probably just get like a cheaper one. You know what, just for shits and giggles. And those are probably honestly need to charge them batteries. Well, I guess she's too dead to even start, so I guess let's go ahead and take the grill off, because Ford installed a nice little step for people whenever their trucks break down, because they're good at thinking things forward like that. They think about the steps to fix it instead of keeping the thing running. But we're not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and take pretty much most of this apart and get down to the valve covers, because that is where the injectors are located, is under those. So that means down yonder and down yonder, under those pipes. So let's get started. So I have everything ready to go on the truck, and the only thing we need now is what the folks sent us at GripMat. They sent me some products to use and review and basically show how good they work, and what better to do than engine bay work like this. And they ended up sending out a 3-pack of grip mats as well as 3 10mm sockets. I've got 99 sockets, and a 10mm is finally one. See, stuff like that is just like, they're actually mechanics. These right here are basically tool mats. The best thing is, this will be able to be used right here if I want to. I can put screws, tools, parts, anything I want right here. I'm probably gonna end up filling up the toolbox with all the way down to 7. And Ford uses metric sizes because, you know what, I don't know why Ford uses metric sizes. They just decided it would be a great idea to do that. So I'm gonna go all the way up to 12. They sent 2 stickers, but one of those is definitely gonna go on the Focus whenever we do mail time later on this month. So I have basically all the tools I need in order to work on the truck right here. So what I get to do is, instead of take this giant toolbox, which really has no space under an engine bay, which I normally would have taken, or just spread tools kind of all around, and diesel trucks really do suck when it comes to that. Now I have organization for 1/8 inch and 3/8, basically for all the parts that I would need in order to get in here. We have 7 all the way up to 11 on the 1/8 inch, and we have up to 15mm right here. Then we have some hex heads because Power Strokes uses hex heads. We also have Torx bits because sometimes these Torx bits can get a little better bite than some of these guys if the bolts are stripped out. But basically I have everything aligned right here. Wobble socket, definitely something you need for diesel trucks, and some extensions. So I could take this whole deal right here, just lift her up, mobile toolbox. Now I have an entire toolbox inside of the truck. So that's basically why you would want to use something like this or the GripMat product. Another thing I could do is put them up here. I'm using these for the first time right now. I've never used these before, but holy cow, it's just like that. Like, there's just a toolbox right there. Interesting. Okay, that's really good to know. But let's go ahead, without further ado, finally get started on this thing. And with the help of GripMat, thank y'all very much for sending these out. I'll let you know what I actually think about them after I'm done working on the truck. Tell you if they actually made my life a little bit easier or not. right, guys, so basically what's going on is the bolt that I'm trying to get to over here is a Phillips head. So what I need to do is take a 1/4-inch socket and put a Phillips head inside of it. Now it's a driver. Just got to make sure you're careful right here so it doesn't fall out, but I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen because yes, it can fall straight out if you don't use a magnet or something like that. You could put some tape on it or maybe some like stuff inside, but it really doesn't matter to me. I'm going to make sure it doesn't fall. Time to pull the valve cover. And there she blows. That's the valve cover for your old Power Stroke 7.3. There's something called a quarter trick, and I'm gonna have to do it because there's a plug that goes through the valve cover right there, and the problem is sometimes these get loose just because plugs going through valve covers, it's literally just a gasket holding these plugs together. So dirt and debris can't get inside, and so oil stays inside, but these back out, and I actually just pushed this one back in a little bit. So I'm also going to need to pull out these injectors. You can obviously see there's 4 right there. Obviously, they have been replaced before because this truck's definitely not stock down here. So we're gonna go ahead and replace these guys, and then I guess we'll go from there. Clean up all the oil rings and everything, and we'll be set. All right, so I'm gonna have to unplug these guys right here, which is actually pretty simple. If you have any sort of common sense, then you kind of know how these guys work. You just plug them in and unplug them when you're not using them. All right, so now that part of the harness is disconnected. This glow plug wire, it wasn't even on, bruh. I did not pull that off just now. Wait. This one, see that one I just pulled off, but this one I didn't. Nice. Bro, that's like literally having a spark plug wire off. That literally might be half the problem right there. Now I can go ahead, take this valve cover off. Now that I got all the wires out, there we go. And now she comes out. All right, so now I have an oil squirter. We're gonna take all those out for every single one of them. There's one here, there, and so forth. I just pulled mine out right here. Plugs up top, and there's a little bit of oil leaking down, but they pretty much said to release these guys right here. There's 2 little plugs. This one was actually loose. They're supposed to block oil and whatnot. Oh, that one's leaking a lot. You can kind of see how much oil that's leaking right there. Yep, it's a good thing I took that out. It's a plug right here, and it fits like that. And it goes into the side, just right there where it's coming out, just like that. But let the rest of the oil drain out of that, and then I can loosen the rest of the injector. Now the bolt's almost out. There it is completely. And you slide up here. I have a adjustable pry bar right here. Lift up here and give her a tap. And there she is. So, well, that's not good. That sounded like a whole bunch of stuff. But look, there's a diesel injector. Let's go ahead and put them right here. Number 1. Got 4 more on this side. All right, we got this one. Those O-rings, they look like they actually could have been needing replacement. Well, here's possibly some of my problem. That's supposed to be an O-ring. There's no ring there. Look at that. You're not supposed to be able to just take these off by hand. Well, there we go. There's part of my problem. All right, guys. So further along down the video, I'm pretty sure I fell in love with grip mat because these things are literally the coolest thing ever. Okay, so we have the injectors inside of here on the grip mats, and these things actually work extremely well. I'm gonna rebuild the injectors on them. There's just enough room for doing all the work I need to do, and I don't need to waste paper towels in order to do so. So there's a pandemic going on, so don't have to worry about that. Looking at these injectors, obviously this one's been replaced, and I think almost all of these have been replaced, if this isn't the factory one. It looks like right here we had a little bit of a blowout, right here, not too much, but right here we could tell there is a big problem right there. Those O-rings are like gone. That's probably the problem of what I've been happening. So basically what's with these injectors is this is a water passage. So this is where your coolant goes in your engine, but this is also where your fuel goes. This is where your high pressure fuel is, which is like 2,000 PSI or something crazy like that. This is your oil passage, and that, I don't even know how many pounds it is, but there's a lot of pressure in there. And the truck's been getting low oil. We got the truck running a while ago, but it was running really rough, and it was running like it had low oil pressure, and in fact it did have low oil pressure. The cat's eating food, if you're wondering what that sound is. So basically, we need to rebuild these, and rebuilding these is just doing an O-ring kit as well as shimming them. So the O-rings right here, each box has enough for 2. We have a copper one, we have a metal flat washer, we have flat O-ring, and basically just each one to replace these. And we're going to use some picks And I guess we can go ahead and get started on the first one, which is the injector that had the broken O-rings on it in the first place. And I'm also keeping all this stuff in line, and the grip mats just are perfect size for it and everything. So go ahead, just come in there, make sure not to rip it, pull it out. I'm actually pretty fluent in this. If anyone's ever done wireline and you know how to build tools and stuff like that, I used to do that for a little bit. And we got this guy right here, which might be a little harder to get off. I'm gonna be super careful not to scribe the metal or anything. So we're getting this metal ring off. I popped it off, but we have this right here. That needs to come off, and now the last thing is this copper washer at the very end. Take a razor blade, spin her just a little bit, get her backed off, and then you can get a pick in there. All right, there we go, and now that copper washer is off. Also, I'm gonna take this Scotch-Brite pad and wipe the tip of the injector. All right, so that looks a million times better already. And then the rest of the injector, I'm gonna wait, but I also have to do this right here. This is going to be the injector shim kit, which is what I got from the products right here. So these guys right here, they gave me a Torx bit, but that's not it. These bolts have already been stripped before. This truck really be out here ganging. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off now. Also gonna keep this metal plate as well. If you see, this metal plate is coming off with all of the bolts. So this is one assembly right here, as you can see. I don't know if it's been shimmed before, but that's what we're gonna check to see if it needs shimming. So I'm gonna put this on its side, probably gonna put it right here. They provide you with all the special tools you need to do it. But I'm gonna go ahead and check the rest just because it's better measure to check them all instead of not. Now it's time to go ahead and put the new O-rings on this thing, making sure all the oil and gunk and everything is off of it. Now it's time to put on the metal ring, which is going to be the most intimidating, honestly. Just kind of walk it on, trying not to scratch any of the surfaces. There we go, and pop. So now that guy is on there. That is the first one. And then we are going to put on the flat rubber one. All right, and I also have some oil right here as well. I'm gonna dip my finger in it and just kind of put a little bit of oil on the outside of this ring. So that way it's just good, no dry O-rings inside of there. And it's just basically a little bit of a precaution that I'm taking. And this right here, do the same thing. Just make sure it doesn't twist. Make sure she don't rip. And there's one. Now I have to get another. I'm gonna dip that dude in a little bit of oil, and there that is. The top oil side is good, so in theory we should have oil pressure. And now we have full O-rings, which you can kind of see what they're supposed to look like if it'll ever focus. That's what it's supposed to look like, and this is what came off of it. You can kind of see those are supposed to be a singular O-ring and not have any holes in them, and these had holes. So there was just oil yeeting out right through here. Literally, just yeeting. Blah. Got this pink ring right here, or purple, whatever color you want. I'm gonna put that guy on there. Make sure you have a good amount of oil. Hit him with the squeeze. Literally, hit that dude with the squeeze, make sure it didn't spin at all. Good to go. And the last one now is this orange one right here. Make sure it's got a little bit of oil on it. So now the orange O-ring is on. We are literally good to go. We have O-rings on. Space is gonna be cleared. Not gonna worry about a thing. Last thing we have is the new copper washer, or brass washer, or whatever this is. I don't know if this is copper or brass, but pretty much just slides right on like that. You can kind of see what I did here. I got an 8mm socket with an extension on it, butted it up next to this, used a screwdriver just as a little mallet tapper, back that guy up against there all the way, make sure she's good to go. There's a little bit more, probably can go one more tap. Alright, now we have one rebuilt injector. Alright, so I figured out that you actually do need to shim them if they're at 2/1000ths. So, I take out this middle screw right here, and I'm gonna put a shim right here. And then you have 3 different layers of shims that you can use. It looks like you're supposed to put a 0.004 shim, just a singular 0.004, and put that right there, and then we can put this guy back. All right, so now I have the new one in there, and now I'm measuring with 4/1000ths. It honestly seems a little bit loose at 4/1000ths. That's 6/1000ths, and it's perfect. So that should be good. So now we need to take these screws right here. So you're supposed to take this dude off. This is your cover, and then we're gonna put 1/2000th. Oh, there's all of them. That's a good thing they're giant and silver. And now we put the daggum thing back on. And now we tighten them back up, and then we'll be done with that. And I also need to do it on all 4 of these injectors because all of them were super small. I thought we were going for wanting 2/1000th of an inch tolerance, but we actually need to get more than 2/1000th of an inch tolerance, giving it more room to work. So, I'm gonna go ahead, tighten all 4 of these down, and then do the rest of the injectors, which y'all don't need to see because you've already seen it enough times already.